The hot dog has become popular around the world. Many restaurants around the world or takeaways, fast food places have hot dog on their menu. Even if the restaurant or the takeaway isn't American style. Of course, many American style restaurants in the UK, in Europe, and other places um, have hot dogs, but also places that aren't American style, they might have hot dogs because they realize it's popular. Maybe they might have a twist on it depending on where they're from. But it's become popular and there's different variations, and we associate it with America, and that's partly true. And as I mentioned, it's not American like many things. Like I mentioned about apple pie, there's a lot more to it. It's not just simple as saying it's American, although it's part of the American culture now. And many people will, if you ask them, what do you think of hot dog or apple pie, they'd say it's American. Um, in well, most stories, sources, articles, and posts say it's in the 1800s. That's when the hot dog story started, if you like. Well, it started in America. I'm sure it was around in some form before that. Uh, German immigrants went to or immigrated to New World. I believe that's an area in America. And of course, when people go to different areas, they bring their food with them. That's why we see amazing different cultures making different new dishes in places they move to using local ingredients. And the Germans who went to the New World did the same. And the first hot dogs were called Dachshund sausages. So the German word, of course, I'm probably not saying it correctly. And German immigrants, they used to sell them in food carts in New York in the 1860s. And they're just selling them. It wasn't like a hot dog as you see it today. However, people started buying them and they became popular. And then German immigrant by the name of Charles Feldman, he's believed to open the first hot dog stand on Coney Island, and said he sold over 3,600 frankfurters in a bun that year. And in 1880, a sausage vendor in St. Louis who gave white gloves to his customers to help them hold their hot sausages ran out of gloves. So I suppose he just gave them a sausage on his own. So that's why they had to have gloves to hold. Um, so he began, and since he ran out of gloves, he began giving them out inside a white bun. So I suppose that's where the bun started being part of the hot dog. And by 1893, the hot dog was a favorite baseball park treat. Some believe that Chris Von D.A., the owner of St. Louis Browns and a local bar, introduced hot dogs to go along with beer, and that made it a popular beer snack and part of something that you have with a beer as well. So along with baseball and other things, maybe even Super Bowl and other things, and that's how the hot dog became popular. In 1916, Nathan Handwerker, a Polish immigrant and employee of Feldman's, opened a hot dog stand of his own, selling them for half the price of his competitor. And Feldman was eventually forced to close shop. And by the 1920s, Nathan's hot dogs were known nationwide. So you see, it's not strictly American, like I mentioned at the beginning. And there's a lot of different things behind everyday food that we have. And there's a lot of German heritage in the hot dog, and there's a story behind everything or most things we eat. And a lot of the time, we're having an edible piece of history.